it again. Okay.
So my name is Maria, and I joined the summer coding school. I think it was 2017 when I was a student, and then I joined as a student ambassador 2 editions in summer 2018, one with Boeing and one with Google. And that was pretty much my experience with ThinkYoung, and I stayed in touch a couple of years later as well, because I think my brother also joined after that. So yeah. And I studied in the Netherlands, Nanobiology, for my bachelor. I just finished a couple of months ago, and I'm hoping to start a biomedical engineering master in September in Denmark.
So let's get back to the STEM school, to the summer program. What motivated you to join the ThinkYoung STEM School?
So I think my parents signed me up for it, but it wasn't against my will. I just didn't know about it. I always liked science. Sorry?
How old were you?
So 2017, I think around 14, 15, yeah. And I always liked science in school, so I was really excited. But we never did a lot of practical stuff with technology, so the school looked quite exciting to learn how to code and learn how to play with different technologies.
Super nice. So you joined, and I think it was around 4 or 5 days of learning and coding. What has been the most memorable learning experience during that time?
I think there were quite a few moments. If you ask me back years ago, now I remember really specifically the Flappy Bird experience, because we got to customize the game to our own liking. So it really showed how coding could really allowed us to do anything, especially at that age. It was really exciting that the game had the colors we wanted. We could put a different face on the bird and all of that, so that was pretty fun. I think that was probably the most memorable one for me.
And what was the one standout moment you'll never forget from your time? And I know it's been a long time for you, so probably a lot of memories are completely vanished, but what is it that you're still remembering from that time?
Do you want it to be from when I was a student, or also could it be from when I was there to help?
Also, all the time.
All moments, okay, yeah. I think it was the second year when I actually managed to help a student with their code. It showed me how much I understood, and I was very happy with myself that I actually managed to help them debug their code and make their website look pretty. It felt pretty
Did you have a confidence boost? You were like, damn.
Yeah.
I made it.
Definitely. And it really showed me that I actually learned a lot more than I thought, because I hadn't practiced the skills in a while. That was pretty fun.
Yeah. And do you still, did you make friends? Obviously, because you spent 5 days of intensive learning with people your age. Did you make any friends during the time, or when you were an ambassador later?
We made a pretty good group of friends. I remember we were 5 students. We got along pretty well and kept in touch after that for a couple of years. One of them was also at my high school, so we were good friends, and it was a good bonding experience. Now I don't talk to most of them anymore, but during my high school years we were pretty close.
Now I also know that you continued your as you mentioned before, you continued your studies in the STEM field. Just talk us through it. How did you decide to dedicate yourself to STEM? Is it something that you've known since you were younger, or did you decide later on that you're actually interested?
I think it was a bit later on in my last years of high school. It was definitely after I also joined this summer school. That was probably one of the moments where I realized how much technology could achieve, how many companies were also out there. I decided I really liked biology as a kid, and I love physics, so the bachelor I chose was a pretty nice combination for it. I also really like to build stuff and problem solve, so it fit my personality and my character pretty well. And I'm really excited to be able to innovate and help people through innovation in the future. So I think that's how I decided to dedicate my professional path to STEM.
Are you also continuing in the same field for masters?
So I'm just switching. I was in a research bachelor and I'm switching to an engineering master.
Okay.
But the same field, biomedical engineering.
So it's gonna be more of like inventing rather than solving now?
Yes.
Or not?
But I'm quite excited for that.
How did your experience shape the way you think about the future of technology or STEM? Because obviously also in the last years AI is basically a part of our lives, and what is your like take on this?
I think the experience of the school made me realize how much technology can influence and how fast it can grow. But at the same time, it also showed me how much there is still to be invented. So it was a great balance to see that there is still space for innovation to happen and still need for people to go into that field. I think it's a bit scary, but at the same time exciting to see how technology will influence society later on. But we are already a dependent society on technology, so from now on it's just to see how much more we can develop and where it will take us.
What were the challenges that you or your friends and peers faced during the school?
Probably the first time. So for me, that was the first time I saw code in my whole childhood. So I felt like in a movie with being a hacker with all the lines of code. But the first time the code didn't work, it was really like interesting to understand how a line of code can affect all the other parts. So the whole debugging process, that took a while for me to understand, and I think also the others, and helping each other through that process was, I think, one of the biggest challenges during the school. And also asking the teaching assistants and the teacher for help.
Okay, Maria, and final words from you to all the young people out there. Just share like your final words. What is it that you would love to say to them, and we can close our conversation.
Regarding STEM or regarding just anything?
Just in general.
Okay.
Anything.
Yeah, no, I would advise for anyone to be curious as much as possible as a young kid and take any opportunity that they have. I think for me that was this school. I was curious about it and it led me to do pretty fun things and shaped my future. So I think being curious and just always saying yes to anything around as a kid for opportunities is definitely my advice.
Thank you so much, Maria, for an amazing conversation, and I hope it's also insightful for all the teenagers who are just making their first steps, baby steps into the STEM world, and I hope it's inspiring for them.